legend says this sword belongs to the one true king. But what if the sword chooses a queen?
How Cursed is gonna make this Arthurian legend, a story that's been there for so long, appealing and relatable to the new audiences right now?
It's so, it's so interesting because, like you said, the Arthurian legend is this fable that's been ingrained into society for centuries. It's probably one of the longest or oldest tales that we have in our time. And when you think about it, you always think of the characters like Arthur and Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table. But you never see the stories of the women inside of that fable, and particularly some of the most powerful and prolific characters, one of them being Lady of the Lake, which I find kind of insane in ways because, like I said, these stories have existed for such a long time, but yet we know nothing about her. So I think being able to take that lens and place Nimue, who is destined to become that potent and powerful character, at the epicenter of this legendary tale is in itself kind of a completely new and fresh lens.
Our mission is the extinction of magic. This is war. And in war, there can be no mercy.
How did you both decide that you wanted to retell this Arthurian legend, but focusing on Nimue?
I think this is in a way been a ghost that's haunted both of us for our whole lives. Or more better way to put it was a story, a legend that's inspired both of us for our whole lives. And it's just, without even knowing each other, we were both being drawn toward something that turned into Cursed.
The opportunity to see Frank's version of this world through, his art was really appealing to me as a fan, to see these characters through Frank's eyes. And also we wanted to approach it from a fresh point of view, because there had been so many versions of this myth told, and many told very well. I have a daughter, and she was 10 or 11 at the time that we were talking about this idea, and it really appealed to me to kind of figure out, like, who would be her heroes in this myth. How could we draw her in with a story the same way I was connected to King Arthur or Merlin, and really just sort of examine those women heroes in this mythology and see if we couldn't kind of build out the story with them and celebrate all these great, cool ideas and themes of valor and courage and magic through the eyes of a young woman.
It's seen its wars, hasn't it? Oh, it's lighter than it looks.
Your Arthur is very different than the Arthurs that we are used to see. How did it feel to recreate a character that is so iconic?
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. In my career, I never thought I would be able to get the chance to play this, but I'd always hoped that these kind of roles would be open for someone like me to play. I am a person of color, and when I walk the streets, I see a lot of people that look like me and a lot of people that look different, and this character is a myth and a legend. So to play this character seems very right of this time, and it's exciting. I'm excited to see people's opinions on my performance, and I think for me personally, it's one of those things. If you can believe in a magical sword, you should be able to believe that a person of color can play this Arthurian role.
Gustav, Merlin is a very well-known character in pop culture. How did you make this Merlin your own?
Well, first of all, it's a very different interpretation of Merlin already on the script stage. And that's what, initially attracted me to the project, was that, this character is so much fun to play. So I don't think it's a Merlin we've seen before. And what I love about the character is that it's definitely not a one-note character. He might come across, you know, in the first episode as sort of, you know, a comedic figure or quite sad and eccentric, but then as the season progresses, we get to know him more and get to find out different layers to this man.
Promised us rain, Merlin. You promised many things, and they never seem to happen.
Weather is fickle, my liege.
A classic Merlin answer.
So your character is a very mysterious, strong presence. I wanted to know, how did you approach his character, and if Frank and Tom shared with you a bit of his backstory?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you watch all 10 episodes, you'll see that he has like a whole backstory that eventually becomes revealed. And so, yeah, I talked with Frank and Tom about what that looked like, and how you meet him when you meet him, and then also where he ends up going. So I think by the end of it, you understand a lot of the kind of conflict that he's going through.
And Katherine, you have some amazing scenes with the sword. Can you tell me a bit about how was your training and how difficult it was to shoot that awesome sequence with the wolves?
Firstly, thank you. I mean, when I read this script, there were so many things that I was drawn to, but particularly those fight scenes, I just saw them as being so cool and so epic. And I was really excited to dive into that because I'd never done anything with swords or action or stunts before. I think the wolf scene, or the scene that you see in episode 1, was actually the first 2 days of filming that we shot. And I remember it was very cold because we were still in the UK, and that whole scene takes place during a thunderstorm. But I remember it being a lot of fun. It was directed by Zentner Fuentes, and we were just talking about how cool it was and so excited, you know, seeing that as the first 2 days. And then from there are obviously other fight scenes that take place throughout the season, which I think is just a real credit to Steve Dent and the amazing fight choreographer we got to work with, Mo, and all the training we got to do beforehand.
A knight, on the other hand.
I've always thought of myself as a ninja, so it was very easy. No, it was challenging. It's for 10 months straight to try to stay in fighter shape and to make the stunts feel as real. I love doing stunts. Katherine loves doing her own stunts as well. So it was one of those things where we committed ourselves physically.
It's hard work learning that stuff, but it's also hard work learning it with full costume and with various injuries, or, you know, what they are really. There were a couple scenes where it was late at night and they were working, and I was so glad the stunt team were there. I just I'm so impressed with that. They're just incredible. They're built to make these scenes look incredible, and you kind of come in and do, you know, bits and pieces, and then they can make it all look fantastic.